Good evening, everybody. Chris and Tiffany here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's live edition of Cruise Talk, where we talk everything cruising and some stuff that isn't cruising.
Yes.
I mean, we have a tendency to get off on a little bit of a tangent, and see, of course, the computer's going to throw all kinds of stuff up there. I like how it gives me a pop up that says, "You have a live coming up." I know, we're live already. So it has been fairly quiet this week. Not a lot's really been going on, has it?
No.
No, I mean cruise news has been pretty much on the quiet side. Everything, which is good. I mean everything is running smooth. There's not a whole bunch of catastrophes going on, a whole bunch of cancellations. None of that stuff is happening, at least at the moment. So that's all good for cruisers and their upcoming cruiser vacations. Of course, it's the busy time. It's summertime.
Yes.
And anytime it's summertime, it's busy. Ships are full, ships are crowded, ships are hot, but still cruising.
It's still cruising.
It's always still cruising. So that is what's super, super important. But like I said, not a whole lot's been going on. I've pretty much spent the week doing travel agent training. Been working on Virgin Voyages this week.
Okay.
Virgin Voyages is my current cruise lines. Well, I've already done Carnival. I've done Royal Caribbean. I've done Disney. So I'm currently working on Virgin Voyages, and I think Virgin has a lot to offer. I really, really do. I think Virgin is going to be one of the next ones we're really going to consider as we, branch out to other cruise lines and try other cruise lines. I really think Virgin is going to be one of the ways to go. I think they have a lot to offer. They're intriguing, the way they do things and the kind of way they run their ships.
How so?
Well, they're very all inclusive ish.
Mm-hmm.
They're not completely all inclusive, but they're pretty close for a cruise line. That doesn't have any kids on board, which it has an appeal to it. Nothing wrong with kids cruising, kids being on cruise ships. Still like our Royals and Princesses and Carnivals, and of course you love Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And you're always going to have kids on board there. But, the opportunity, I think, to cruise without any kids on board. And honestly, the way Virgin does things with their decorations, and they got some bold colors and wild patterns in some of their ships. I think you're going to get a whole different crowd. I think there's going to be a different crowd on Virgin versus, Princess versus Holland America, things like that. I think you're going to have a whole different kind of vibe going on. And they include a lot of stuff with, you don't have to worry about gratuities. They have Wi-Fi, and they don't even have traditional drink packages. They have the bar tab, which you actually pay for, which you can do. You pay ahead of time.
Yeah.
And that covers, the drinks. So you're still paying for your drinks, but you don't have to pay per drink because they don't do a traditional style beverage package. But they have a lot of more included drinks, more like Disney does, versus, the Carnivals and the Royals.
Gotcha.
So I think it'd be a good opportunity to, experience a little something new. But in all of my interesting training I've done this week, I did learn some new information. So, and I know I was telling you about it earlier, but Celebrity has announced that the Celebrity Edge for 2024 is going to be sailing Alaska sailings out of Seattle, Washington. So Celebrity already has cruise ships that do Alaska sailings, but they've never had an Edge class ship go over and do Alaska sailings. So the Celebrity Edge will be doing Alaska sailings for 2024. And I know we talked about doing Alaska again next year, and a Celebrity is definitely another one I want to try. And I have heard nothing but such really good things about the Celebrity Edge class ships.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be beautiful, beautiful ships, and Celebrity is supposed to do a really, really good job, as a cruise company. So that'll give us an opportunity, I think, to try out Celebrity. May have to look at them for our Alaska cruise next year.
Definitely.
And for those that are Disney fans of Disney Cruise Lines, Disney is the Disney Wonder when it repositions out of Vancouver at the end of the Alaska season in 2024. Is actually going to be doing a Hawaii cruise. as part of their repositioning. They're going to be going to Hawaii, which is new for Disney.
Yes.
They do not spend a lot of time in Hawaii, but if you're a fan of Disney Cruise Lines, which you are,
Yes.
we know you love some Disney, you'll have an opportunity for Hawaii.
Virgin definitely would have appealed to me 2 years ago before I had my first child at 38. Now my mind is always on my daughter. Would love to go Disney, but those prices.
Yeah, Disney's prices are high. I usually have the best luck looking at Disney right around January. For whatever reason, that's usually the best dip I've ever seen in a Disney cruise price. And that's usually when we'll jump on is in January. And if you're willing to go on, the Wonder or the Magic, two of their older ships, which to me, the Magic in particular was a spectacular ship. For being as old as she is, you would never know it. A lot of times you can get some better prices on them if you look in January. Definitely don't look at ships like the Wish and some of the, their brand new bigger stuff. Those are definitely at the top of the price points.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking 3-day cruises to be at the top of that price point. A 3-day cruise on the Disney Wish can cost you more than a week cruise on, Carnival, Royal, or anything else. But January is the best time to look, and you might hit those better prices, especially if you can cruise out of either Galveston or New Orleans when either the Magic or the Wonder is sailing. Out of those two ports, you can definitely sometimes get a better deal. Hello, Dale.
Dilly says they've been on the Celebrity once. They fully enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hear lots and lots of good stuff about Celebrity cruise lines. I hear they do it right.
Yeah.
I mean, that is really the way to do it. Hello, Robert.
Who Paul says hello.
Hello, and
CME Traveling.
Good evening. Welcome to tonight's live channel. All right, now I do have an announcement here, and I want to make sure I get all this stuff right, because we are going to be doing something different in our live next week. So we have been asked to be guests on a podcast, and it's sort of related to cruising, but it's not 100% about cruising. But the podcast itself is going to be about Queen Mary, which is currently, of course, landlocked in Long Beach, California, is now a hotel. But it's going to be actually about the hauntings and stuff that happen on board the Queen Mary. So the name of the podcast is going to be Macabre History. I had to look at that to make sure I get that right. It's going to be brand spanking new, Macabre History. And it is, I just completely lost my train of thought. And Rebecca is, of course, the host and the one that does the podcast. So Rebecca's actually going to be on the live with us next week. So we can kind of talk about it and get ready for the podcast. Now, the actual podcast will be out at the end of July. Once I have exact dates and everything else like that, we will, of course, give you guys all that information so you can check it out. But give you guys a little bit of information on Rebecca before she comes on next week. First and foremost, I want to put it out up front. She is my daughter. Okay. And so I am going to brag on her extra because I am extremely proud of her. She does an awesome job. She is super successful. And, as a parent, you always want your child to exceed you. And boy, does she.
Yes.
Boy, does she. But she has a YouTube channel, Criminology and Coffee. She's real big on TikTok with Criminology and Coffee. She's been in the podcast Dr. Crime. She was the co-host of Dr. Crime. Excuse me.
She's been on A&E for the 80s.
That was on Discovery Channel.
Oh, Discovery Channel.
Yeah, she was on the Discovery Channel for the Mendez brothers. They did an episode about the Mendez brothers. So she's been on the Discovery Channel. So to me, she's a big deal. She's a very, very big deal. She asked us to be guests on her podcast since it has something to do with cruising to fill in that part. So
we will absolutely drop her link in the comments or in the description.
Yes. Yeah, after this is done, I could drop her link. And like I said, she will actually be on the live here next Wednesday. So everybody that comes back, you'll be able to ask her questions. She'll be able to answer every question as well. For her new podcast, I don't know. I'll have to see if she has the links for it yet. Because like I said, the very first episode hasn't even dropped yet. But she's really into this kind of stuff. She's really, really good at it. I mean, she's super, super knowledgeable. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to have her on next week.
Yes.
So she will be joining us for that.
Something a little different.
Yeah, it's going to be something, like I said, it's a little bit different. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're still going to be talking about a cruise ship. We're going to be talking about the Queen Mary.
Yes.
And if it's successful, there's always stuff that goes on cruise ships. Maybe there's something we can do in a different aspect. So that will be coming up next week for everybody that is interested, especially in the paranormal type stuff.
Necromancer says they're very into they love all things paranormal. CME says traveling sounds great. Attila the Fun, how are you? You should be proud. That's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Sandra, hi, Sandra. She says that sounds interesting. Sandra's the one we met.
Yes.
Yes. And then Traveler Bust, hello all. And then every place me and my husband visit, we always go to an alleged haunted location. I try to stay away from those.
Mysterious and Cruising. They love it.
James Wade, hello, Chris and Tiffany from Cincinnati. What are your next cruises?
To be 100% honest, we don't actually have anything on the books right now. We're looking at a couple, but ever since we got back from Alaska, even before we went to Alaska, we came back from Alaska. I've been focusing on the travel agent side. There's so much training involved in that it keeps me super occupied. We're also spending a little bit of time working on growing the YouTube channel, expanding our audience a little bit. Like I said, we're going to be doing the collaborations with Rebecca and Macabre History. So we're kind of branching out a little bit. We're definitely not done cruising. I have some cruises I am looking at this year, but nothing I can actually confirm right now. But there are several I am looking at. Well, a couple things got to kind of mesh together first. And then here in July, we're going to be going to North Carolina, actually for Rebecca's wedding. She's getting married in the Blue Ridge Mountains. She's found this really cool overlook. So we're going to go there to do that. And I'm going to try to say this without offending anybody, because this isn't meant to offend anybody. I'm going to be performing her wedding. I went online, you do the online thing so you can perform weddings. And I did this because she asked me to. She's my daughter. She asked. I'm her dad. I said yes. So I don't want to tweak anybody's religious feelings. If that bothers you, sorry. My daughter asked, I'm going to do. So, and I'm honored that she would even ask, that she wants me to do it for her.
Yes.
So, boom. That is something we're going to do.
CME says they live in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia.
Yeah, we're going, you probably know the exact name of the place. I can't think of it right now. It's pretty close there to like Asheville and Linville in North Carolina is where her spot is that she picked. And it starts with a C, and I'd have to look it up again. It's not a real easy name that I can just remember off the top of my head, but it starts with a C and it's an overlook. It's like a quarter-mile walk off the Blue Ridge Parkway. So I think it's good. I've seen pictures of it, and it's going to be super gorgeous. But that's actually our next planned trip that we have for sure in the books. Not cruising. It's land cruising, I guess.
Yes.
But I still think it's going to be super cool, especially, coming right out and seeing all those beautiful mountains in Alaska. I'm actually kind of excited to go back into mountains.
Yes.
We don't have good mountains here in Texas.
No.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
Attila the Fun says that's wonderful. Blessings to your daughter and you both.
To her, it's all for her. I don't know. I'm so proud of her. It's hard to put it in words, I guess. But I am amazed at the things she does, the amazing things she has accomplished. It's awesome.
Yes.
And I'll even tell you the story. The only reason I ever even made it onto YouTube was actually her influence. Because I had thought about starting a YouTube channel. I thought about it for months. But I was a little nervous. Put up the camera, start talking, and then you kind of put yourself out there in the world. And I was a little nervous about it. And she started her channel, Criminology and Coffee. And I kind of thought to myself, well, if my daughter can do it and she's not scared to do it as her dad, there's no way I should be scared to do it. I can't be a chicken in front of my own children. So, and that's actually the motivation that actually got me to actually make that first video. And now here we are.
Yes. CME Traveling says, yes, driving the parkway is so relaxing.
Yeah, I'm planning to have cameras everywhere I can get them to catch all of those views. I don't know. I have it in my head. I've never been there. I've never seen it, but I just have it in my head that it's just going to be like majestic views when we're up in the mountains.
Yes.
So
Tara says hello and Desiree says hello.
Well, hello. Welcome to tonight's episode. But as far as cruising goes, like I said, there are some on the books or no, they're not on the books yet that we are looking at. But one of the things we've done a whole bunch is, Cozumel, a lot of that out of Galveston. And not that I don't like Cozumel, but Alaska really got me the taste in my mouth to do something different.
Yes.
So I think it's going to take a pretty special itinerary. Has got to pop up. And there's some coming up. It's really a matter of picking which one. And I'll tell you what I found. Can't do it right now. There's no way Tiffany would be able to get off of work because it's a 33-day cruise.
I told him I'm taking an LOA.
But I found a cruise that starts in Southampton on Princess Cruise Lines. It does the British Isles, Scotland, Ireland, goes over to Spain, goes to France, then comes over, does a couple places in the Caribbean, and then drops us off back in Galveston. So that one caught my attention, but that one is 33 days of cruising in order to get all of that in. But it does drop us in the backyard. All we have to do is fly Southampton.
Yes.
And I forget the exact price, but believe it or not, it was not terrible for 33 days.
Dilly says, go out of Long Beach, California, and find itinerary that fits your needs.
That, since we've been talking about the Queen Mary, and especially, I've been doing the research for, so I sound more knowledgeable about the Queen Mary when we do the podcast. That's actually something Tiffany and I did talk about, because we could actually go there, stay on the Queen Mary, do our vlog from the Queen Mary to kind of add to that story, and then cruise out of Long Beach.
Yeah.
Even if we just do, the Mexican Riviera side from Long Beach, we haven't been to any of those places down on that side. And so all of it would be new. It would be a new adventure. So believe it or not, that is one we have absolutely talked about. And Long Beach is one of those ones that I'd like to try at least once. Because we've never even been to California.
No.
So you'd get a whole bunch of firsts out of it. We'd get some California. We could see the Queen Mary, experience a little LA, hop on a ship, experience some sides of Mexico we've never seen.
It sounds like an adventure.
It does sound like an adventure. It has a good appeal.
Remember, everyone, to hit the like button.
Oh, I appreciate that. You know how often I forget to even say that in these lives? I know it promotes the live and everything like that, but I always forget. I get just having a conversation and I forget all about all that stuff.
But thank you.
Yeah, thank you, though. Thank you, because, that will slip my mind each and every time. I just like talking. You should be in charge of saying that.
You like talking.
Because I like talking. You're right. Well, you talk. Tell us a story.
I never know what to say.
Just talk. Just tell cruising stories. We'll try this.
They've seen them all. It's all on video. I never kissed the moose.
trying to think well, we've had some Kiss the Moose. If you guys have watched any of our things, you got Kiss the Moose, and coming up, I believe this is it going to be this week? You should see it this week. The beginning of the Furkini saga starts. You're never late. You made it. There's no such thing as late. Hop in any old time. But welcome to the show. Now, again, I've lost my train of thought. Boy, I do that. The older I get, the faster I forget where I was going with anything.
No, I did not kiss the moose.
I tried all the way up to disembarkation day with Kiss the Moose. She would never, ever kiss the moose or wear the furkini.
Nope.
But I tried. I mean, we had days of conversation about the moose.
Yes. Yes, we did.
I think there are times when Tiffany's like, wow, why does he have to travel with me? Isn't that true?
No, never.
No, see, that sounded super sincere. I think she would like to solo cruise without me.
No, I would never do that.
Yeah, but just think, nobody would try to make you kiss a moose.
This is true.
Right?
This is
Or some of the other stuff I tried to get you to do.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah, because, I film the stuff, which means I need somebody to do the stuff while I film it.
I'll film you do it.
Hence why Tiffany's gone up the rock climbing wall and some of the other stuff that Tiffany's done. Because she's like, who's going to do this? I said, well, I'm operating the camera, so guess who's the guinea pig?
Now, the rock climbing wall I wanted to do. I wanted to see if I could do it. To answer your question, no, I could not. But I attempted it.
You made it pretty far up that rock climbing wall. You did. And I don't think you've ever done it before, right?
I've never attempted a rock wall. But driving past ZDTs today, they have a rock climbing silo. So maybe I'll practice on that.
ZDT's is a small amusement park. They have like one little roller coaster. Nobody knows what ZDT's is, baby. It's kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese without pizza.
No, they have pizza.
Oh, okay. So it's like a Chuck E. Cheese with a roller coaster.
It's an arcade, and they've got the go-karts, a couple rides, the silos.
Yeah, like a main event, some kind of place like that. But it's like a little local place. I could swear there was something else I was going to talk about in tonight's live, and I completely forgot what it was. We talked about next week's live with our guest for next week's live. Anybody else want to be on the live? Taking applications for guests who would like to be on the lives.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Sure.
Because you're my guest and you don't talk all that much.
I'm the same. Who's the guest?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Since you just hopped in. Next week we are having Rebecca from Macabre History. It's a new podcast that's coming out. And we are going to be doing a show. Now, next week is just to talk about the new podcast, to introduce her to everybody here on the live. And then after that, we're going to do a podcast together. We're going to be the guest on her podcast, talking about the haunted history and paranormal activity on the Queen Mary.
Yes.
So we've been asked to join for the cruising part of that particular conversation. Somebody thinks I'm a cruising expert. I have her fooled.
The Z Show Cruise Fund says good evening, everybody.
But yeah, Cody, she's gonna be here next week. And I said we talked a lot about it. Not only is she super successful, she's had multiple podcasts. She's been on the Discovery Channel. She's got a YouTube channel. She's huge on TikTok. Super successful in her field of criminology, paranormal. Very, very knowledgeable. Not only that, she's my beautiful, awesome daughter. So,
and she actually has a degree in criminology.
Yes,
she does have a degree.
So she's super educated.
That's one of her many degrees.
Yes.
So
it seems like that's pretty a lot of people like the criminology, the paranormal, that kind of thing. Me personally, I'm a little skeptical, only because I've never personally witnessed it. So I can't say it exists. I can't say it doesn't exist, but I can say I've never seen it. So
Well, maybe
I'm
you
skeptical.
should go stay at the Magnolia when they offer people to stay at the Magnolia. My problem with Virgin Cruise Line is that they pick your room. I like picking my own room. I think all cruise ships have bedrooms near theater, pool area, restaurants above or below.
You can pick your own room on Virgin. You do not have to go with that selection. I know as a travel agent, you can select your own room. I've seen that in their booking engine. It is an extra step, but yeah, you can actually pick your own room. So if someone told you that you cannot pick your own room, they actually told you incorrectly.
So we cannot cruise with them?
Cruise with who?
It sounds like they can't cruise with Virgin because they think they can't pick their own.
Yeah,
I can see why you...
Yeah, if you don't like those guaranteed cabins, yeah, that's true. But you can actually pick your own room on Virgin Voyages. That was actually part of the training I did this last week, and she actually showed us how to do that. So it is possible. But you have to know how to do it. And I know what she's talking about. If you go through the Virgin booking engine and you get to the room category, and let me say this too. I see one side of it. I don't see the customer side of it. Going in the way I go in, so I'm not sure if they're identical. But I know on our side that you can. It's just an extra step.
Dilly says, get a travel agent. They will work with you to get the room you want.
Yep. I've learned a couple things. There are ways to get better prices as a travel agent. Sometimes you can get better deals, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys on here, because I'm never gonna fib and story and tell you guys a bunch of BS. It's not every cruise line. It's not every cruise. But a travel agent will, if they can get you a better price, they will. But it is what it is. Yeah. Some cruise lines are a little
harder to come by discounts.
Harder to come by discounts than others. That's a good, nice way of saying it.
Disney is one of them.
Disney's hard to come by a discount anyway.
Yes.
Disney has a product that I know Disney's all up in different kinds of news and stuff for some of the stuff Disney does. Either people like it, people hate it, but Disney has a product that people continue to line up and buy. And as long as people continue to line up and buy, Disney doesn't have to give you a discount because they're not needing people to show up because, they're full. They're full. And their parks are full, their parks are crowded. Their ships are booking out, and they're booking out at a very high price. So why would Disney come along and give anybody a discount when...
But they do once in a while because we have benefited from that.
Yeah, well, they do once in a while, but they're not ones that run a weekly special.
No.
Right now, you can always find some kind of specials with, your major cruise lines. But so Disney's, they're pretty tight about their stuff. They honestly are. And we've learned that from booking with them more than once.
Absolutely love Disney. My daughter shares a name with the Disney princess. However, she was not named after her.
Which one? Tiffany knows every Disney princess out there. Every single one. I'm pretty sure she's got videos on this channel with almost every single one. If you look at some of our Disney ones.
Rapunzel Rose.
Well, that is a pretty name. That is a very pretty name.
I love that.
And I don't think I've ever seen or heard anybody named Rapunzel before, other than, of course.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That sent chills down my spine.
Yeah, that is super
pretty. I love
pretty.
that. Awesome. Attila the Fun, maybe a tough question, but do you think Princess Plus is a good deal?
Yes.
We won't be getting a lot of drinks, maybe some fancy coffees, but I don't know if that will cover the price increase.
I can give you our experience with Disney Plus on the last 2 cruises, and for
Princess
us,
Plus.
absolutely was worth every penny we paid. Now, I use the Wi-Fi, so having that included was a huge benefit. Tiffany used it a little bit, which she normally doesn't get it. The premium desserts, if you like your desserts, I mean, they're in a couple of our videos, those big giant gelatos we got.
Gelatos are worth it.
Those are included. The gratuities are included in the Princess Plus. And then, of course, the drink package. Now, we're not big drinkers either, but I thought it was an interesting social experiment because Tiffany, if we normally get on a ship, they have the coffee shops. If we're paying out of pocket for drinks, Tiffany might get 1 or 2 or maybe 3 of the coffees in a cruise.
The whole cruise.
The whole cruise. When we were on Princess Plus, she was getting 3 a day. I like my energy drinks, so it was nice to go down to the bar. You just get one whenever you want. With the Princess Plus, we ordered a ton of room service, even drinks and room service. They never charged us a dime. It'll say on there, oh, you want an energy drink and a coffee. It'll be $2, $5, whatever the case may be. But when you actually go place the order, it's $0 with Princess Plus. So we use the tar out of it, and let's just say our onboard account, our spending account, when we were all said and done, now we had some onboard credit, which we had to try to find things to use it on because it was non-refundable. But at the end, our onboard ship account was only $13 with Princess Plus. We ate everything we wanted to eat. We drank everything we wanted to drink. Wi-Fi, gratuities, never worried about anything. I absolutely think it was worth it. It gives you a nice, all-inclusive feeling.
Yes.
And you just walk up to any bar and go, I'll have this. They go, thank you. And off you walk, and you never worry about it.
And that includes room service, yes?
Yes.
Yes. So.
Yeah. Now, with room service, there are some room service items that are not included in Princess Plus. So, because on Princess's room service, if you've never sailed with them, you can order from the specialty restaurants and have it delivered to your room. Mm-hmm. And those charge. So, but yeah, you can have pretty much any specialty restaurant can do room service, but your basic room service, which is, and they have everything from salads, sandwiches, hot food, coffees, sodas, all that kind of stuff. You can get bar drinks and all that kind of stuff. And if you have the drink package, boom, all that's no additional cost to you. The only thing we saw that cost extra was the specialty dining, if you have that delivered to your room. And then something I hadn't seen until we went on Discovery, apparently you can get pints of ice cream now sent to your room. But we didn't try those, but those cost. So yeah, I thought Princess Plus was absolutely worth it for us, and I would get it again. Now, are you going to use all of those items? And if, that's really going to be the question. But if you use a little bit of Wi-Fi, don't want to worry about the gratuities, and are going to have a few drinks a day, and it doesn't have to be alcoholic drinks, whether it's whatever, because bottled water. Tiffany loves her bottled water, and she just walked by the bar and go, bottle of water, boom, and they hand her a bottle of water, and it's part of Princess Plus. Yeah. So she had bottles of water everywhere, coffee cups everywhere, because it was interesting to see how different her purchasing patterns were when she knew it was all included and didn't have to pay out of pocket versus when she did have to pay out of pocket. I don't know if that'll be that way for everybody, but that's something to consider, that if you know you have it, you may do more. And very possibly there was some specialty beverages and drinks that are included. Maybe you just want to try it. Maybe it's not something you'd be like, oh, I'm going to get this, but do I really want to pay, $8, $9, $10 for a drink? And then, ooh, I don't like it. Well, the Princess Plus, you could actually try a few things and not come out of pocket. So kind of gives you some experimentation room in there, I think, as well.
So the husband picked out the princess name. Pretty sure she's the only one in existence at this time.
He picked a good name.
Yes, he did.
That is such a really good name.
Cody says, I can't afford Disney. Well, I would rather take 2 or 3 cruises on Carnival. Exactly.
That's what got us started from multiple cruise lines as well. We took our first one on Disney, and it was super expensive. Then you get to price comparing and realized the very same thing. It's like, we can take 3 and 4 Carnival cruises, in some cases for what we paid for our very first Disney cruise. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I completely get it. You got to catch them when they're priced just right if you want to try it at least once. And I've gotten on a Disney cruise out of Galveston for under $1,000. The last one we took out of Galveston, I picked it up for about $800. Because when you look at Disney prices, Disney's weird. Carnival, Royal, and all that. If you just go on the book, on their website, that's per person. The Disney price is for 2 people because you'll tell the number of people at the beginning. The price it gives you is actually for everybody in the party, not per person. So that's another little weird thing that Disney does that's different. And so if you're used to booking Carnival, Royal, and other ones like that, and you always see that number, $500 per person, you flip over to Disney and it says $1,200. Well, that's not per person. That's for everybody you selected in the party.
Cody also wants to know, does Carnival have a better rate for cruise agents than the average Joe booking their own cruise?
Depends. It is honestly the truthful answer with Carnival. If your host agency or the travel agency has any group bookings open on Carnival, then yes, sometimes you can. As a general rule, though, Carnival doesn't offer a whole lot. They're one of the ones that they're pretty much almost low rate as they can get now. That's kind of their niche, I guess, is, they want that lowest upfront cost, where Carnival gets you is on the back end. And some of the better rates that I see coming out of Carnival actually will come to people, personal offers from Carnival through your email, casino rates, and some of those type of rates. Actually, a lot of times, high loyalty level or high spenders in the casino can actually get better rates that way than through us. Now, it's always possible. And I'll be honest, the best way you can always find out is go onto Carnival's website, look exactly what you want to find, see what the total price is, reach out to a travel agent, see if they can beat it. If they can, good deal. If they can't, now where a travel agent could help you with the Carnival cruise is, they may be able to get you a good rate on a hotel. If you stay the night before, they might be able to get you a better rate on some transportation, possibly some shore excursions, possibly even the insurance. Like we use Allianz, you might be able to get a better rate on some of those other things that might help out the overall cost of booking a cruise versus, just the base price of the cruise. If that answers your question, hopefully.
Hi, James. James wants to know what we think about NCO coming to Galveston, looking to cruise in January on the Prima for his birthday.
I am looking to go on the Prima myself. We haven't had an opportunity to do NCO. So with the Prima coming, that's going to be a good opportunity. And then after the Prima leaves in 2024, I want to say we're getting the Breakaway. I believe it is the Breakaway. So there'll be two different NCL ships sailing out of Galveston. But I've been looking at the Prima. That is one of the ones that I have my eye on. I'm not going to lie. I've been mentioning that one.
Mm-hmm.
So we got two we're looking at pretty well coming out of Galveston. One of them is Harmony of the Seas, and that one's for Tiffany. Tiffany's got a hankering to try that Wonderland restaurant on Harmony of the Seas, and then Norwegian just to get a Norwegian experience. Because I've noticed with Norwegian, it seems to be you love Norwegian and they're great, or you'll never sell Norwegian again. All the comments I see seem to be one or the other. Seems very few people that ride down the middle on Norwegian as much.
I don't know. We've never been on.
I mean, Norwegian's got some cool stuff on it, though. Norwegian's the one that's got the ice bars at sea.
We don't drink, but we're going to try that.
Yeah, I would go into an ice bar at sea.
Yes.
I mean, just the fact that it's on a ship
Yes.
would make me want to go in. Now, that is an extra charge, if I understand right. But I'm willing to pay to go in, have a drink, and say we went into an ice bar
Yes.
at sea.
Yes.
I know they have them on land, but it's always better at sea, I think. But where I have seen some really good rates, though, is I've seen some good rates on Royal Caribbean. I've seen some good rates on Norwegian. And I think some good rates on Celebrity. So really depends on what everybody's looking for. And if you guys ever want me to just look it up for you to see if I can get you a better rate, I said hop over on Facebook to High Seas Adventures, which is the travel agency side, or highseasadventures@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you're looking for. Just, the number of people cruising, the ages, because the ages matter on pricing, what type of cabin you're looking for, itinerary, that sort of thing. And I can shoot you an email right over, with a rough estimate of what it would be and answer any questions over there, just to give you guys an idea.
Cody says that's amazing. He will have to start checking Disney. Wants to go once at least, and didn't know that about Disney being one price instead of per person.
Yeah, and if you don't know that, it makes it look like it's so much worse. It is worse. Don't get me wrong. It is worse, but that pricing, if you don't know it's not per person, it looks so much worse because you automatically double it in your head. If you book through any of the other cruise lines, you're used to it.
He mainly gets casino rates. And James, he's been on 8 NCL cruises and never had a bad experience.
Right. Yeah. See, NCL, it's weird. It's either you love it and you've never had a bad experience, or I see horror stories about all of them. Don't get me wrong. There's always somebody who can find something to complain about. Some are legit. Some seem like they're a little nitpicky. Maybe they're just not used to cruising, and some of the bumps and bruises that come along with that. Okay, if you're getting casino rates from Carnival, nobody's going to beat the casino rate.
Yeah.
They'll tell you straight up right now. Nobody can beat it. Because those casino rates are what they call, majority of them are non-revenue rates, because they're super, super low or almost no cost for the cruise line. So
I think I've got a friend going on a Carnival. They got an email. I think it was a casino rate for $75 for the whole cruise.
yeah, that's a casino rate. And like I said, that's a non-revenue generating cruise.
Yeah.
If you guys follow Carnival stuff, there was a big hoopla probably 2-3 weeks ago now, where someone started talking about that if you went in a casino rate, you didn't get credit for the days for your loyalty program. And Carnival and John Heald had to come out and clarify that and said, you do. It just takes a little bit of time after the cruise is over for them to show up because it's that type of rate. There was a whole bunch of back and forth on that before they finally got all that straightened out. But yeah, if you get those kind of rates from Carnival, nobody's beating those rates.
Cody's typing from his phone.
Oh, I can do that too.
I have that same problem.
Yeah, that's a problem we all have every once in a while. Especially if you use that, what is it? When you talk to it, what is that? And then the autocorrect kicks in.
Talk to text or something.
Yeah, the talk to text, and then the autocorrect comes in, and half of what you said comes out in a whole yeah. I'm notorious for that one. My phone will just start making stuff up at that point.
Mine is swiping.
I don't know how you type some of this. You type it and it still comes out
I don't type, I swipe.
in a foreign language. in an absolute foreign language. Okay, did I miss anything else?
I don't think so.
Yeah, and when you look at Disney for the first time, look at the Disney Magic, the Disney Wonder, then the Dream, then the Fantasy. Look at the Wish absolutely last. The Wish, of course, is going to be the most expensive one. It's their newest, biggest toy.
Right now, they're only doing the 3 days.
And yeah, they're only doing 3-day sailings, 3 and 4 day sailings, Nassau, Castaway Cay, and right back to Florida. So you'll get better itinerary options too. If you're out of Florida, the Fantasy has some of the best itinerary options. She actually goes away a little bit and goes a few places. And then if you ever sail out of New Orleans or Galveston, look at there around January timeframe, and you'll see some better rates too.
It's a little fun, kind of like us.
Exactly.
Never spend enough in casino for casino rates. I just hand over my little spending cash, and they take it all.
Yeah, me too. I've told Tiffany I ought to just walk in the casino, throw some money at a machine, and just walk off. Just walk by the cashier and hand it to him.
Yeah.
Here you go. It's my donation of the day.
I actually had pretty good luck this last time.
I normally have good luck.
Normally, it's me that has the bad luck.
Well, I'm just saying. Normally I have good luck, but normally when I have good luck, you're not in the casino with me.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the problem is.
Hey, you went to the casino by yourself one time on this last cruise. I was not there. I was in the room, and you still bombed. Every time I tried booking online, it will not let me pick my room.
Like I said, I'm not 100% sure about the customer side of it. If you want to pick a specific room on Virgin Voyages, I recommend 2 ways that I know of 100% for sure. You can, of course, call Virgin. They'll always help you over the phone. Or if you know someone who can do Virgin bookings, if you have a travel agent that you know and trust, they can. I know for a fact that they can pick your room, unless it's some kind of weird something or another that the rate you picked is only a guaranteed cabin. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to pick your cabin for those awesome casino rates. People get those casino rates, and
just go. That's why I'm almost platinum.
I'm not gonna lie, if they were throwing me casino rates, I'd take them too.
RuPaul does all of their own bookings, then they call the cruise line to finalize things.
Yeah, if you specifically want that, and you want to continue to do your own booking, I tell you what I can do. After this, I can go in on the Virgin side through the customer side, and I can see if that step is over there for you. And if it is, I can let you know. I can, I'll send you attach a comment or something. Once this live is over, put a comment down there, check Virgin for me, something like that. That way I can answer you right here on YouTube. And I will actually go in on the Virgin side and see if that option is there. I know exactly where it is. You go, once you get to the summary of, you pick your room, then where it automatically assigns your room number to you right there. Over there to the right, there's a button you click, and I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head, but it's change or edit or something like that right there by the room.
California Linda says, hello, everyone. RuPaul says, well, glad to hear there are ways to get your room you want. Thank you.
Yeah, there absolutely is, and I can check that for you just to make sure, and then tell you exactly what that button is. But yeah, I do know when you get to the page where it gives you your room assignment that it picks for you, right to the right of that is on my access, there's a button. I say that because I have to check the customer side to make sure that button's there. But I know it can be changed, and even if you just call Virgin, they'll have access to that button because it's Virgin's booking engine.
Yeah.
So it's on their stuff, and it's got to be pretty similar, I would think. So, but that's a weird one because that actually came up in the training where people were like, we don't want a guaranteed cabin. It's like, no, you don't have to have one. See, good. Glad I took that training. I actually knew something about virgin.
Yeah.
Ooh, I finally answered one question from all that training. Well, no, we've been talking about rates and other stuff out here too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's helpful. If nothing else, the information is super useful. I really think it gives me a view, kind of pull the curtain aside and look behind it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool too, because like we do webinars that are with like, sales leaders and executives and coordinators and stuff from the actual cruise lines. So you get, like I said, you get some of that information, possibly a day or two earlier. Like I said, the whole thing with the Celebrity Edge going to Seattle, I hadn't seen that anywhere until it was mentioned tonight. And then the Disney cruise ship doing the Hawaii trip was all mentioned in seminars and stuff like that. So you can pick up some pretty interesting behind the scenes information that you can share with everybody.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a big old secret. I don't think it's been officially released yet. Because like for Disney Cruise Lines, their 2024 bookings won't be available till July. You know how they are.
Mm-hmm.
They won't be available till July, so that repositioning cruise in 2024 isn't even on the booking engine yet. There was all kinds of interesting non-cruising related stuff, but if you're a fan of Disney World, you're in Florida, you like to go to Disney World, I do know that starting on January the 8th of 2024 for the 2024 season, you'll no longer have to make reservations for the parks, and the meal plans, the dining plans for Disney World is coming back. So those will be back. Those have been all that stuff's been gone. You've had to make reservations and all crazy stuff since the restart, COVID and all that kind of stuff. So Disney's going back to its normal ways. You know how it is.
Yes.
You're looking over here at the beautiful Disney scenery. Mickey Mouse is pickpocketing you.
I don't know about all that, but
I do. I was there the last trip. I'm pretty sure I got fleeced by Mickey Mouse.
just because we left broke.
Don't get me wrong. Disney makes a good product, but boy, they're proud of that product. They are proud of that product. They really, really are. And like I said, I said it earlier, I know Disney does Disney things, and it's got people on both sides of the fence about some of the stuff Disney's been involved in recently. But when you actually go and just, you go to the parks and you see the creations of the Imagineers, the detail that Disney puts into their parks, they put into their cruise ships, it's pretty spectacular. You just got to take all the other junk and throw it to the side, and ignore the fact that Mickey Mouse has robbed your wallet.
You'll be okay.
Says the Disney fan, as y'all can plainly see. Telling you, it's a trademark for her. It's a trademark. Disney ought to sponsor you.
Should.
What do you think? Should Disney sponsor you? Oh God, they were. The only thing that we were there in January of 2020.
Before all the COVID.
Yeah, it was right before COVID shut down. That was actually our last trip and our last cruise, because we did a week in Disney and then we went on the Disney Dream. Now, luckily at the time we had the dining plan, because we went to Cinderella's Royal Table for the character breakfast, and that breakfast, and the food's nothing special at all. But boy, you're going to eat in the castle, and a princess is going to come talk to you, or like 8 princesses, I forget. Tiffany knows, but yeah, it's like $200 for breakfast. Yes. And Tiffany went to like 3 different character meals while we were there, and the only thing that saved us was the dining plan. It was the absolute only thing that saved us was that dining plan, because she could run around and do all that stuff, because she had to go eat at the Be Our Guest She had to go to Beauty and the Beast. She went to Akashu. Akashu, I think I'm saying that right. But that's the princess character breakfast in Epcot over in the Norway Pavilion. We went to the Tusker House in Africa. That was characters. She went to Cinderella's Royal Table. She went to Ohana's. She drugged me everywhere. And if it hadn't been for the dining plan, I probably would have had to, sell a kidney to get through all of that, because those meals, you're right, they're awful. They're extremely awful. I mean, it's like $100 or more,
Mm-hmm.
for food. And it's not like they're giving you the best food ever on the planet.
Now, Ohana's?
Oh, well, okay. Ohana's is a whole different story. Ohana's was awful. It was good.
I want to go back just for Ohana's.
Ohana's was really, really good. But, I mean, the breakfast and, the character breakfast, it was just breakfast. Even the Beauty and the Beast, Be Our Guest, it was just a sandwich. Because we went for lunch. It's French at night. Not a huge fan of the French food. It's just never been my favorite. But so yeah, I feel like, while it was great and it was super awesome, and if the grandbabies ever want to go back, or Tiffany really wants to go back, and she asks really, really nice, a lot, I'd probably take her back, but it's a fleecing.
We went to Winnie the Pooh in Magic Kingdom. It was nice, but yeah, food wasn't stunning, just regular.
Not for the price. I mean, for the price they charge, you think it would be stunning. I think it would come wrapped with a bar of gold.
I always purchase as I go. The prices are similar to Starbucks. Determine your break-even point.
Okay, you're back talking about Princess Plus, I think. I'm assuming that's what that's about, right? Or is that about Disney? I think that's about the Princess Plus stuff. Hello, Travel or Bust. Did I miss somebody? Oh, I thought he was saying the name of a channel. I
think he is.
Did I miss Travel or Bust being in here? I don't know. Again, I get to talking and forget half of the stuff that's going on around me.
Princess Plus and coffee prices, not Disney.
Okay, that's where I thought we were. I said, she's right, though. You do have to weigh out the price, but me personally,
Is Mickey robbing people?
Yes, he is, at Fun Point. I'm telling you, he tricks you on the rides. You get on the roller coaster, it tips over just right, your wallet falls out. I'm telling you. You go up to take your picture. You watch it. You go up to take your picture of Mickey, he puts his arm around you, he's pickpocketing you.
Be nice.
So you say what you want. I have fun. But good God.
Yes, Travel or Bust is here.
I missed whether you even give him.
Your wallet falls out.
If you've been to Disney, you know what I'm talking about.
Disney should sponsor me.
I agree. I mean, if they just go watch any video that Tiffany's been in, she's got, when we're in the cruise port, she's got a Disney backpack. She's been on, she's been on almost all their ships now, minus the Wish. It's the last one you got to go on that's still out. The Treasure's not out yet. I mean, even we're in Alaska, you still got Disney stuff on. You got your Disney hat with your 2 ears sticking up on it. They don't have to sponsor you. You're a walking Disney billboard. You should send them a letter that says, watch these videos. Trust me.
Yeah.
And she could probably sing you guys any Disney song, quote, almost any Disney movie, I'm sure. The cartoon ones, anyway. I mean, she's watched Cinderella, Bambi. I mean, she's worn out Disney Plus.
Not to mention all the VHSs that have taken over the hall closet.
Yeah, she still has all of the VHSs.
Breakaway better ship.
Then La Prima. I mean, the only reason I want to try I would want to try the Prima as well as the Breakaway is because they've kind of redesigned the way they eat, the buffet, I guess, area. I'm trying to think how Norwegian calls it. From what I've seen the pictures of it. So I'd be interested to kind of see that. Plus, it's a new ship. You know me.
Yeah.
I enjoy going and looking at a new cruise ship. Newer cruise ship.
Last time I watched a VHS was 3 years ago.
She doesn't watch them. She just has them in the closet. There's an entire closet dedicated to her Disney movies on VHS. I don't know why. I have quit asking. I have quit being concerned. I just ignore the closet.
I'm scared to watch them because if the VHS eats the tape.
Every single one of these movies are on Disney Plus.
These could be worth money.
Okay.
I've seen them go on eBay for quite a bit.
Okay. I told you, I stay away from that closet altogether.
And I still have some in the original packaging.
I don't mess with your VHS tapes. I am not that brave. Not at all. She's had those before we even met.
VHS are rare, especially Disney. Disney Plus is the way to go. Prima to us, thumbs down. Did not like the layout.
I've heard a couple people say that. That when they changed for the layout, that didn't please everybody. And I get it. There's a couple ships out there, the layout just rubs me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I don't like it. Carnival Vista is the one that, for me, I don't like the Carnival Vista layout. I really think it's the atrium that bugs me so much on that one. But, so I get it.
They will never give up their VHS.
Neither will Tiffany. Listen, I just stay out of it. I just completely stay out of it. But I think other than that, I said, so for everybody that wasn't here at the very beginning, just one more reminder, next week's live, we will have Rebecca from Macabre History with us here on the live. We'll be talking about the new podcast she's going to be starting. And we're going to be talking about the episode that we're going to be doing that's scheduled to air roughly July 28th, I believe, is when she estimates that it's going to air. She'll be able to give us a much more exact date. We're going to talk about the Queen Mary, her haunted history. There we go. That's going to be the title. The Haunted History of the Queen Mary. Or the Queen Mary and her haunted history.
Still have an Atari and the original NES.
Now that's okay to have. That makes sense to me.
California Linda says, what is your favorite? Mine is The Fox and the Hound. Jeff leaves my VHS and DVD alone. Smart man. And believe it or not, my favorite is either Fox and the Hound or The Rescuers. The original Rescuers. Not Rescuers Down Under, but Rescuers. He has no idea what I'm talking about.
I vote Avengers.
That is Disney.
Technically, that's Disney. And I also believe that Disney is done wrong. Disney bought up all these things. Why is Princess Leia not officially a Disney princess? That's what I want to know.
We'll call Mickey and ask him.
He stole my wallet. And I know I'm letting the big nerd fly right now, but a Marvel movie and why is Princess Leia not officially a Disney princess are my two big questions of the week for Disney. What do you think? Or my one big question.
They're legit.
Huh?
It's a legit question.
You're right. I think she should be.
The Avengers. Disney princess.
I'm okay if you want to make Iron Man a Disney princess. What? You like the fox and the hound. I like the ones that shoot things. We each have our own taste.
There is shooting in the Fox and the Hound.
Do they shoot foxes?
Yes.
While wearing Iron Man suits?
No.
You lost me. All right, we are way off topic here. Again. But I think we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap this up for today. As I said, we will be back next week with our very first guest on our live.
Yes.
We'll see how this goes. We will see how this goes. We're going to make sure all of the technical stuff is ironed out ahead of time. We've never had a guest on our live.
No.
We'll test out. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll have more guests on.
Maybe
we'll see who all wants to be on the show with us. Because, we're super interesting. We've talked about fish that swim up the pipes and touch your butt. We're talking about Disney princesses and things like that. So, who wouldn't want to be a part of the absolute all over the map weirdness that I think our lives are some days?
Yes.
Right? You never know what you're going to get. Never know what you're going to get. But I want to thank everybody for being in here. Just a quick thing. If you guys would, do me a favor. If you haven't hit the like button, please do me a favor and hit that. That number is getting higher and higher every week. So I super appreciate that. Yep, we will be here next Wednesday, 6 p.m. She's already confirmed that she's going to be here with us. So we'll hop on, do our normal introduction, and we will bring her into the live. If I understand, this is our very first one, so if I understand everything correctly, she should be able to see the chat and everything the same as we do. So she'll be here to answer questions, talk about it and stuff like that. So next week will probably be a little less about cruising and more about upcoming stuff and a little paranormal stuff and everything like that. So a little bit out of our wheelhouse, but I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be super, super fun.
DHLs, again, no notification for the live stream. Just saw it now. Yes, all bells and whistles on.
I have no idea. Because half the people say it works and half the people say it doesn't work. I did see, now this was months and months ago. I saw another YouTube creator say this. You can try it. Unsubscribe to the channel, then resubscribe to the channel and click the bell again. I heard one of other creators have to say that before. So I don't know if that is a YouTube tick or not. I did check and it doesn't give me the notification to send out a notification, I guess. If that makes sense. But yeah, try unsubscribing and resubscribing and see if that clears it up. But it will definitely be next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Because I know not everybody is in Central Standard Time.
Right. I set a timer on my phone's calendar.
That is dedication.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, we get so off topic sometimes. I'm just hoping we're entertaining at this point. But like I said, next week I think it's going to be a whole lot different. So yeah, if you're definitely into paranormal, have paranormal questions, everything like that, then that is the one to look at. I said, if you go over to Spotify, they're on Spotify, her current podcast that actually ends next Friday. She has one new episode coming out this Friday. In the series finale, the podcast is ending next Friday, called Dr. Crime. Mm-hmm. You guys can get a jump on it if you want to check her out over there. On TikTok, she is Criminology and Coffee. And on YouTube, she's also Criminology and Coffee. But she hasn't put out anything YouTube new in quite a while. I'm trying to talk her into coming back. So next week, that'll be something for you guys to tell her, hey, you need to be back on YouTube. I'll get everybody again pushing on her about that.
Who calls us? Check Virgin for him.
Absolutely. Yep, I will go through Virgin. I will check that and see if that option is available. Because now I'm curious too if it's something that people that book it on their own can do. And I would think that it would be. I think it would be silly of Virgin to not have it. But I do admit that it wasn't really noticeable. If you didn't know to click it, and I was going through Virgin the first time myself, I would have missed it. So I completely get that part. So But all right, as I said, we're gonna hop off here again. Thank you, everybody. I mean, it is so awesome to see you guys in here week after week with us. We really appreciate it. It's one of our favorite things to do, just to get on here and talk to everybody, have conversation, share stories, laugh, make jokes. It is always a super, super good time. And like I said, we will see you guys next week with Rebecca and Macabre History.
Yes. They only book balcony, so look for balcony.
Gotcha. Absolutely. Like I said, I know it can be done. I'll figure out the exact button pushes for you and do it. I know you've got enough comments in even in other stuff. I'll be able to find you on YouTube and shoot one directly to you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, you're absolutely. It's super fun for us too. The lives are one of my favorite things to do because we can just talk and we can just be silly and we can just have fun and have conversations.
Yes.
It's actually one of my favorite things that we do on YouTube and cruise. Well, the traveling is why we're here to start with.
Very true. But
this part is super fun because hopefully we all learn something or we all laugh. One of the two. That's the best I can say. But all right, everybody. Really appreciate everybody being here. Y'all have a great night. And like always,
we'll see you out on the high seas.
Good night, everybody.